Strong hips protect the lower back and the knees, especially when they're in the side of your butt. The glute medius, one of my favorite muscle groups. So the bridge is a really good movement for helping out and strengthening your butt muscles. If you do the bridge without a band, you can bring your heels up to the point to where they almost touch your fingers, or if you have long arms like I do, they'll touch the fingers. Bridge your hips up. When you do this, you want to make sure you're not arching through the lower back. If you feel like the lower back muscles are really tense, then let the tailbone draw under just a little bit and pull in the abdomen. You may feel a stretch in the front of your thighs if you have to do it that way. So you can hold the bridge just like this, and I recommend shooting for 3 minutes. It means you might start at a minute and add 15 seconds each week or every workout, depending on how it feels for you. But eventually I'd like to get you to holding this for 3 minutes. If you do it with a band, you just take one of these, put it around your knees so it's right above the knee joint. Set up in the same way you did on the first bridge, and just keep your knees apart. And that'll get in those side butt muscles quite a bit more. And I love those. So the next progression of the bridge is to do some heel slides. Basically, again, making sure that you keep everything in a neutral position, meaning your pelvis and your lower spine in a neutral position. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. An excellent movement, again, for strengthening the glutes, your hips, and your abdomen.
Good.
Okay, for some exercises to work on those hips to have you standing, we got a couple different varieties here. One is you can put the O band right over the top of the knees in the same way that you did with that bridge. Get a little bit of a hip hinge. What I mean by that is just get into the hips just a little bit. I realize this may not be congruent with the practices that you do, but for this exercise I'd recommend just being into the hips so we're a little bit easier on the knees. So the first movement is to shift your torso and hips with the step of your leg. Notice the step of my leg does not look like this here with collapsed knees. Instead, it's like a crab, stepping to the side, wide with those knees, the shoulders and hips stay together. Also, make sure you're not lumbering with the upper body side to side. Okay? Everything's strong, staying together. This is the lateral step with an O band around your knees. The other variety is to commit to your step first and then transfer. This is more congruent with your practices, but again, I'd like you to keep a little bit of softness into that hip joint, so you have a little bit of a hip hinge. So you get the step first, transfer with wide knees, come back over. Step, transfer, come back. Wide, here. It's a little bit more specific to your movement practices. Okay, a third variety of that one is to make an X pattern onto the floor in front of you. So you can step forward diagonal, to the side, and backward diagonal, to the side. So again, you're making this X pattern on the floor. Feel free to switch directions. You might do the first set for a minute till the hips get tired, and then do the second set in the opposite direction. Good stuff for the hips. So those of you from Embrace the Moon that came to the workshop, it was great working with you. And I hope I have the pleasure of doing that again. Hopefully the review of these exercises will be beneficial for you. Feel free to call me or email me if you have any more questions, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Thanks.